So good afternoon. We're coming back to our workshop. Now I will present to you the YI STEM2D project at ITA, which is a project for inspiring women in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, manufacture, and design. This presentation was made by Professor Izabela, Batista, Henriques. I'm presenting for her. I'm Ana Carolina Lorena, you all you know. Well, we have here that 40% of the global labor force is composed of female individuals. So we have an increased female participation in the global workforce, which has led to increased child survival and global education rates to become better. But the representation of women remains at levels that are very low in some areas, particularly in the areas that we work here in this workshop and in the STEM2D project. So in 2015, we have this data that women filled 47% of the jobs in the US, and in the STEM areas, we have only 24%. This is in the US. And also we have the pay gap. Women earn 80% of computer science and 90% of engineering degrees. So there are some problems that we have. Here in Brazil, 36% of the women marry before the age of 18, so a large amount of the population. And there is a direct correlation between child marriage and school dropout. So, and also in a lower income and adult life, in addition to increase the risk of domestic violence, maternal and infantile mortality. So we have many problems that come from this data. Even today, we know that fewer girls complete high school compared to boys here in Brazil, and only about 30% of undergraduate students in STEM areas are female. So we have here something that was taken from the MEC census, that is the Ministry of Education here in Brazil. And we can see the proportions of men and women per area. And like in health and education, we have a lot of women in service, social science, law, humanities. But when it comes to the exact sciences like engineering, production, construction, science, mathematics, and computing, things get reversed. And we have few women. We have here also specialized by the field: civil engineering, logistic management, information systems, systems analysts, electrical engineering, computer engineering, control and automation, computer science and mechanical engineering. Computer science is one of the worst regarding the proportion of female women working in the area. And mechanical engineering also, that is the area of Izabela, who did this presentation. Here at ITA, I've already talked about this data. We have 80% of our faculty members are female, 27% of our master students are female, 90% of PhD, and the undergraduate students only 9%. And with the observation that they were allowed to enter ITA from 1996, because ITA exists since the 50s, but female students in the undergraduate were not allowed until that year. So some professors here from ITA have joined and sent a proposal to Johnson & Johnson's proposal that they had in 2016. And they got the grant to build this project that I am presenting here. So here are the institutions that got the grant: Caltech, Harvard, MIT, ITA, and the other ones are here: University of Tokyo, Limerick. And it was an effort to accelerate the development of women leaders and support women to improve well-being and to better economic and sustainable economical growth. So we got the grant here. It was led by Professor Juliana Bezerra, but since last year we don't have these grants anymore. We are working with other partners, and I can say among them. Yes, you can tell them. She's completing for me.
Yeah, we have the funding from the Brazilian Space Agency this year. So you're going to do experiments all based in space science. So it's very nice.
Okay, she's my consultor here about, she knows everything. So I'll talk a little bit about the program and the objectives to promote collaboration and teamwork, hands-on and minds-on learning, opportunity to build confidence, inquiry-based investigation, project-based work that has real-life applications, and exposure to diverse role models. These are the main objectives of the project. And then there are 3 parts that they address here. Inspire young girls to the STEM2D areas, training of the ITA students, and disseminating impact change. So let's talk first about the training of the ITA students. We have a support for training ITA and engineering students, both graduates and undergraduates, to develop skills, including technical and also soft skills, for the engagement and retention of the country's best technical female talent. As we know, ITA is known for its excellence in the technical areas. And we want to engage them in the process of the project as the main agents that will drive these changes, preparing and giving lectures in schools. So the girls go to schools and teach them how to make some experiments and learning about subjects from the STEAM areas. And together with some faculty members, they develop and apply workshops with hand-on activities and mind-on learning activities to spark the curiosity of the girls to the STEAM areas. And also they act as mentors for the young girls in a mentorship program that is also something that she knows.
Yeah, just let me introduce. I'm Mariana. I'm a master's student here, and I'm part of this group. And so about this slide, it's important to say that we have a lot of fronts in our project. So we have the workshops that we work with girls in their schools. So we do science experiments. We have our mentoring program that we develop soft skills and we talk about our feelings. I'm going to talk about it later. We talk about, we give professional guidance for them. We bring women from the market to talk about their professions and how is it like to be a woman in the market. And we also have internal activities. We have a book club. There are girls here that participate. We have book clubs. We have debates. We have a lot of internal activities that help us interact with each other, because we have this interaction between graduate students and undergraduate students and professors and everyone else that is involved in the project.
So here we have some examples of training of ITA students. They had to develop some technical skills by some projects that they made here, a total of 70 projects. So among them, we can see sonar globe to add mobility of visually impaired people, a smart garden that adapts to conditions, to the weather conditions, to cultivate the plants at home. There are also workshops and roundtables that help them with soft skills as well, such as training for job interviews. It was given by a mechanical engineer that was a former ITA student, and then she works at that company. Do it yourself hands-on activities like directed to practical skills to gain confidence, to tackle maintenance jobs at home, not depending on someone else. This is nice. I want to do that. I need that. My husband needs that too. Women leadership. They also brought some leaders from the market here, like the president of Boeing, Latin America, Donna I think it's Heinrich, something like that. So do you want to compliment? No, it's okay. The second part is inspiring young girls to STEM2D areas. So they do hands-on and minds-on learning activities. They practice. They do projects on high schools, focuses on high school students, mentorship programs, lectures in schools about the STEM2D areas, and they also promote visits of people from outside from the schools to the ITA labs here. So we have here the photos of some hands-on activities that they have done. They have done a lot of things. This is learning about aerodynamics, where they brought a lot of young ladies here and then these are students from ITA, undergraduate students. I was learning with them. I know this one. And then they show the concepts and how the airplane keeps itself in the air and all the concepts involved. And next, the kids had to build their airplanes with the instructions there. They had these kind of models here. And next, we went to a flight competition. I'm the one here. I was with the kids competing as well, but I didn't win. I can tell you I didn't win. They are very good. They are very competitive. I can tell. This is a tower construction competition. So there are activities in many STEAM areas. So we had airplanes, of course, because we are at an Aeronautics Technological Institute. But we also have this that is more related to civil engineering and construction. So they were competing to build their towers. We have here activities to learn and build electrical circuits as well. Very nice. So they have kits. They have kits. They still have kits that they practice. I saw the kids in the park. Yeah. They are doing some activities in Vicente Naranha Park, and then they also bring those kits there. It's very funny. I recommend. I go there.
This Sunday.
This Sunday, yes. This Sunday they are promoting some activities there. So anyone who is interested, from 10 o'clock, right? 10. From 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. they will be there showing their experiments and.
It's a rocket workshop. How to build rockets, yeah.
Oh, how to be a rocket science,
Yeah.
It's not...
Go.
It's nice. And they have here activities on learning about engines and gears, since we have also mechanical engineers and everything else. So here they are with their challenge on how to put the engines and make it work accordingly. They have also some chemistry activities, learning about acid, base, and here are they showing the results of their experiments, the kits. Programming, of course, since we are talking about computer science here, we have also activities of programming. It's led by Professor Carla, is the leader of this type of initiative. And then she shows how to produce games. and how to program. And usually is a block-based solution, something like that, Scratch, or I don't know which was the other one that used the game. It was Python, right? I believe. They learn about phosphorescence and fluorescence. I have to learn that too. I don't know the difference, to be honest. I'm a computer scientist. I don't know this. But they learned about it. I have to go to this workshop. They learn about rockets. Is that it that you are doing?
We are going to do that on Sunday.
Yes, they are going to do that on Sunday in the Vicentina Arana Park. Please be there. Who is here in the moment, please be there. So they show the components of the rockets, and then they build the water rockets, and then they probably compete to.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that they want to compete. Even the girls, they want to compete, and they are very competitive. So they build, and they see the whole thing working, and then have to manage how to work better, and it's very interesting. Here we have something more related to math and geometry, so learning plane geometry through geoboards. They had also a project financed in 2029. It was financed by CNPq, Girls in STEM. They had hands-on activities being held in 5 public schools, but it was a little bit different. It was like the group of girls, the ITA students were there to train the professor and the students, female students, and then had to reproduce that in the school. So 974 students were impacted by that. I know because one school of my aunt was involved. It was very interesting. It's a public school here in Brazil. Not of my aunt, of course. She is the director. Well, and we have also disseminations and impact changes activities. Maybe now Mariana can talk a little bit more. This is the Vicentina Aranha Park. You should go there. It's very beautiful. And also you will see the girls doing the activities.
Yeah, this activity in the park is very nice because we also work with boys, but it's important to see the girls as the main figure there, So we are all female students there teaching the boys and the girls, everybody, to do the science experiments. And everybody's there, the parents are there, the children get very excited. They fight when there's competition. But it's very fun because you can go with your family and bring people there. And this Sunday, we are going to do some rockets, so show up. It's going to be fun. This Sunday, yeah.
I'll be there with my children, with my kids. So the group also tries to submit and presents papers about what they are doing. This is a part of it. True, I removed. There were a lot of slides. They did a lot of those papers, and they presented the conference and journals related to education. And there's also the first symposium on Brazilian human instinct that was a huge success. It impacted a lot of people. It was in March 2020, just before the pandemic began to close everything. I think it was the last activity with a lot of people here at ITA. And we had 350 participants with that, people who work with women in STEAM projects from several states. So they have here the map of Brazil and the states that participated, the groups that participated. And there are some that, the rather here, the more people came from that place. So it's interesting to see people from north of Brazil, that's really far from here. They came from the south, But now they want to impact more. They want also from the other states that didn't come. So we had participants from 21 states plus the federal district that is here, the federal district of Brazil. We had 32 submitted works. We had a lot of submitted works. I was the chair of the publishing that year. So among them, we selected 32 to be presented orally and 131 presented as posters. And people came, we can tell, people came from the places that are very far. There were women with babies here. You were here? No? Yes, there were women with babies. There were women that took boats to come to a place, then to take a plane to come. It was really inspiring. So this year, we plan to make the second symposium. It will probably be extended to more international participation as well. And it will be in October 2022. It will not be here at ITA anymore. It will be at the Parque Tecnológico, the Technological Park of São José dos Campos. And the project we are holding now, financed by the British Council, will be there too, with a two-day workshop in the symposium. So as soon as we have more information, we will let you know, and we will publicize everything. We have also here some live events from women in STEM2D areas. I can tell that they were. I'm not a really a direct participant of the STEM2D project here, but I help in some activities sometimes. But I know that they were very impacted by the COVID pandemic, since they had many activities that involved a lot of people and going to schools and things like that, and schools closed. So they moved to the internet, like everybody. And they have the lives of women in STEM2D. They have the mentoring that now Mariana can talk about a little bit.
Yeah, it's the part of the group that I'm most involved in, so I'm really happy to talk about it. I'm one of the mentors. So as I said before, we talk a little bit more about our feelings. We have some guidance some guidance to the girls. So we bring professionals here to talk about, for example, we had doctors, engineers, computer science. We had artists, not only restricted to STEM areas, but to all kinds of professions, so they can see that they can go to university, they can study something, because most of them don't even have this example in their families. They are socially vulnerable girls from 13 to 14 years old or 15. They're not in high school yet. And we were really affected by the pandemic, so we had to do a virtual mentoring. And it was funny because in the beginning, most of them didn't even turn on their cameras. So it was very hard because they are naturally shy. They are like teenagers, they don't want to talk too much. But then in the end of the year, we could see that they have developed so much. Like, they were talkative, they open up their cameras, and you could see that they could speak. We did one last meeting here at ITA, and one of them didn't even turn on the camera at all. And then in the last meeting, she was so excited and she talked a lot. And we were like, oh, she's grown, in this process. So we have self-knowledge sessions. And we also have a philosopher that she comes and talk about a little bit, for example, anxiety and Sartre, a philosopher. So we have also these sessions. And, well, I think it's very nice. We're coming back to our meetings here at ITA, and we're very, very excited. And this year, we don't have 19 mentees. We have 31, so it's growing.
So it's another very nice initiative they have here at the STEM2D project. And this is a number of people impact, but from 26 when it started to October 21, that was when Izabela collected this data, and she's separated by age. So you have from 11 to 70 years old, or more than 80 years old, 18 years old. So the hands-on activities for the middle and high schools, they impact a lot of people, more than 2,000. But they have also the engineering day at ITA, that people come from the school, the public schools, and can visit the labs. 500 people, more than 500 people impacted. Lectures in schools, more than 3,000. Mentoring for middle school students, 134 were already impacted. Hands-on in public park, like the activities that they do in Vicente Aranha. They also participate in the open gates of this CTA that we have here each year. There was also, when they were participating on Johnson & Johnson, had the Johnson & Johnson Children's Day, more than 1,000 impacted. And bioengineering projects, 40 persons impacted in this age. More than 18 years we have here with technical projects, more than 100, or workshops for ITA girls, more than 100 girls impacted. A workshop with teachers, professors, and graduate students, also from schools, because the objective of the CNPq project that they had was to empower the teachers to also teach their students those subjects. The Women in Leadership event, 400, close to 500, lives with women in STEAM, more than 600. And because of the pandemics, the hands-on activities, but in online mode. And then they could reach a lot of people, more than 10,000, because online they can, even from other cities, can be impacted. So this is a brief overview of what the STEM2D program is doing at ITA. And everybody here believes that it has a huge impact to ITA, but also to society, building confidence for our female students and also for the younger girls. Creativity to build the workshops, the activities, and there's also this feeling of belonging to ITA that increases when you are involved in this type of activity. There's the soft skills that you acquire, like you have to be united, you have to be courage to go there and expose yourself to a lot of people that you don't know, and to inspire them to go to the public outreach. So we think it can impact in a change of culture where the female are in leadership positions and are inspiring other young females to also be in leadership positions. So I think that is the big change in culture. It's not that the activities are only for girls, they are for boys too, and there are boys participating in the program too. The idea is that you have the role, the feminine role is there too, because what lacks usually is to have a female representative, and this is important. So that's what the project is impacting. Here are the persons involved. Johnson & Johnson was supporter of the project for many years, so it figures here. CNPq, and now we can also mention the British Council is helping us because we are involved in the project as well. ITAX, that are the former students of ITA that support the university. And these are a lot of members that they had here. You must be there in the... Yes, you are in the middle. And there are former members too, Professor Juliana, who first created the program and submitted it to Johnson, Professor Neuza, which was the coordinator of the symposium, and it was huge, the symposium. I can tell you she had a lot of work. And you can also see that we have male students here. It's not something that only female students must participate. We also invite the male students to participate and to collaborate with us. This diversity is important. Thank you for your attention. We have here the social media. Do you want to?
I want to distribute the souvenirs later. And I just want to tell a funny story that the last time that I was in the park, a little girl, I think she was 5 years old, and she did the science experiment. And she was like, oh, I want to be a scientist. And her dad was near her, and he said, didn't you want to be an actress? An actress? And then she said, no, I gave up. I want to be a scientist. It was very cute.
Yes. So you can follow the project on the social media. They have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channels, LinkedIn, and Mariana will distribute this for you. It's a gift from the project. Okay. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, I can try to answer, and I can also have the help of the participants which are here. They can help me because they are really involved in the activities, in the hands-on activities. So thank you.